I'm going to make a clip now of filling some cases. I'm going to make a 3-break 4-inch shell, and rather than do as I've done in the last couple of weeks, posting short clips of filling shells or making fuses and individual processes, so that it doesn't get disjointed and spread out over a period of days or weeks, what I'll do is I'll make some clips of filling these 3 cases, and then I'll spike them, I'll paste them, I'll join them together, repaste them, finish the whole shell off so it's all in one posting. On a safety aspect, I like to have a minimum amount of materials on the workbench while I'm working. I've got about 20 shells to make tonight, and rather than have the whole bench covered in 50 kilos of different coloured stars, burst, pulverone, whatever, I just keep the minimum amount I need for filling these 6 cases. If this strip light comes crashing down onto the table and sets everything off, this 3 or 4 kilos of stars here and the pulverone and burst in the tin, if it goes off, I'm going to be pretty badly injured, but I'm probably going to survive an accident like that. But if I've got 50 shells worth of material sitting on the bench, then there's no way I'm going to make it. So I just keep what I need here for these 6 cases. When I finish those, I put these away. If I've got 2 more cases to do, I bring them onto the table, and I bring just the stars and materials I need for those 2 cases. It's safer that way, and I feel a lot better about sitting here next to all this stuff. Okay, I've got 3 cases, 4-inch. I put a liner inside each one, and the reason I've done that is because they're going to be stacked up on one another. I want to make sure that each case is filled to an equal height, and also when I come to pop my end disc in each case, it fits in nice and flat and square at the top, and when I join the next break to it, I know that it's sitting squarely on the top of the next one. The liners are 3.5 inches high. And as always, when I get to this stage, I'm in a quandary as to what I'm going to actually put in there. I've decided on green and what was it I decided on? Green and red in my first case, blue and purple in the second, and then the third and last break will be some charcoal, some silver chrysanthemum streamers, and I'll just use 2FA burst charge for the first 2 breaks, and the third break I'll put a little bit of slow flash in there as well to give that final break a nice wide spread. Now, as with some of the other shells I make, I put a little paper sleeve around the canal. This canal is an inch and an eighth. For a 4-inch shell, you want a canal that's between an inch and a quarter is a good size for a 4-inch. So I just roll up 4 turns of this very thin paper. That's too much glue. 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch stars in a 4-inch shell. They're going to be far too big. The burst is going to be very sparse. You want a good dense burst, you want smaller stars in. But one of the other things you should think about is the burn duration of your star and the intensity as well. If you put bright red Parlan stars in here with these blue Shimizu, you're going to wash the blue out, you're not going to see a great deal. So I like to try and choose stars that have a fairly equal brightness, and if you're trying to get the 2 colours to burn out at the same time, then stars that burn at the same speed as well. Burst charge. too much in there. Pour the tube. You're probably wondering about this wad of paper here when you come to insert the other brake, but I'll actually get a pair of tweezers and pull that out, the wad of paper there, before I put the other brake and match it up to it. A little bit more pulver. Before you put your end disc in, just make sure you haven't got granules of 2FA sitting on the top of the liner. You want the liner to sit down nice and square on there. Tape. And an 1/8 of an inch end disc over the top. Okay, now a third brake. Now this brake, I'm going to be putting one of my favourite silver comps, Charlie Wilson's silver chrysanthemum stars in there. And because they're cut stars, we can get away with having them a little bit bigger than if they were plain colour stars. And these are about 1/2 inch. They're not primed or anything, they light really easily. Because they're so big, I'm going to put less in before I tamp it and put some Polverone in there. there. Okay, we're up to the level of the liner almost now. And they really are quite big for a 4-inch shell. So you need to make sure that you're filling all little spaces between them, otherwise they're going to shift around later. Okay. And now, because these scars will take a hard burst, they'll still stay lit, I'm going to add just a little bit of flash powder. It's slow flash, nitrate aluminium sulfur to the 2FA I'm going to put in there. I'll just drop my sticks of matchsticks down there. I guess I'm putting in about half a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more in there. Just mix it in with a burst. A little bit more. For the centre tube. That's settled a little bit now. You can see it's just below the rim of the liner there. Okay, and as this is our third break, we're putting a solid end disc on this one, an 1/8 of an inch one. Sorry, 1/8 of an inch on the inside and an 1/8 on the outside. I think I said that actually earlier. I said by mistake I was putting an 1/8 on the outside. On these other two breaks I put an 1/8 of an inch on the inside, pleated the paper on top of them, and I put a 1/16 of an inch end disc on the outside here. These two ends have got 1/16 of an inch. This one's got 2/8 of an inch disc on it. hard to pleat over with £90 papers. Okay, another other end disc. Okay, brakes 1, 2 and 3. Now I'll take them over to the spiking cam and I'll spike them with the double strand of 1mm hemp twine.